What if the life you dream about doesn't require as much as you think it does? Not as much money, not the perfect house, not the perfect location, not even perfect circumstances. Sometimes, perhaps, it just requires the willingness to start with what you have and to keep going. Today, I want to introduce you to a young woman living in a remote village in Siberia, who, for me, embodies so much of what a life reconsidered is about. Her name is Veba, and together with her husband Mouad, she is quietly building a life that I think we can learn an enormous amount from. Hi, I'm Becky Savick, and this is another review of a creator who has made me stop, think, and reconsider what we really need to create a good life. Veba is Russian, Mouad is Moroccan, and they are only in their 20s, and together they have made their home in a small village in Siberia. Neither of them come from an English-speaking world, yet they have built an English-language YouTube channel documenting their life, learning, filming, renovating, farming, growing food, caring for animals, and simply figuring things out as they go. And they have done remarkably well. What strikes me most, though, isn't what they have accumulated, it's their attitude towards what they do have. There is a humility about their life, a gratitude, a willingness to work, and an optimism that seems to say, we'll work it out, and they usually do. I've chosen clips from 4 different videos across different seasons and different stages of their journey. And I think you'll understand very quickly why I wanted you to meet Veba. Let's start with Veba herself. I think I'll let her share her rather exciting news with you.
Hello, it's Veba, and this is a new video from my life in a Siberian village. And today we are buying a new house. Everything happened so fast, so I will explain you everything later. Let's go. Now we are running to bus because we are so late, as usual.
One of the things I love about YouTube is that it can take us into lives we might otherwise never encounter. I certainly never imagined I would spend my evenings wandering around a remote Siberian village, and here we are. And what fascinates me is how quickly you begin to question what we consider necessary. Veba doesn't have every convenience available on demand. At this point, they don't have a car, and there are only 2 buses each day to the next larger town should they need anything that isn't available in the village. Even buying their house involves bank problems, travelling back and forth, and a fair amount of bureaucracy. But listen to Veba. There is frustration, certainly, but there is also humour, determination, and this wonderful sense that problems are simply things that need to be worked through.
We already arrived to this small town. It's called Yashkina to do papers on this house. Just we have some problems with, again, my bank account. Again, it's blocked, but now it's totally blocked, so I can't even enter to my bank account. And it's exactly the same bank. I just don't understand what is this. And I heard that now it starts to be more strict about from where you send money, who sends you money. And I will share with you all information about how to buy house, where to go, how much it costs, everything.
When someone says remote Siberian village, I apparently had a very particular picture in my mind, because this village and its neighbouring small town wasn't quite that picture. It may not have the hustle and bustle of a big city, but what you don't have in the village, you can just take a short trip into the next town that has lots more. There are shops, schools, government administration buildings, transport, and many other services, and people simply getting on with their lives. It is different, but that different doesn't necessarily mean lacking.
Now we are going to the shop to take delivery of my husband. Always he has deliveries, and me, I'm not. Why? Oh, this is your delivery.
Yeah.
For what is that?
For my camera.
Your camera?
Yeah.
What do you mean your
It's dirty
camera?
box, we should do this price.
Yes, this is what we have today to eat. What they have today in this shop where we usually buy food. And we are so hungry. I don't know what we will take. I don't want something oily like this because, you know, it's morning. What do you want? I decided to take my favorite. Look how it looks. All this I will eat alone and very fast. Just trust me. It's with pistachio and chocolate inside. And this big bun, it costs just 70 rubles, so it's like $1.
After all the paperwork, travelling, and bank dramas, Veba and Mouad finally have their house, and Veba's excitement is infectious. And here's the interesting part, this is actually their second house in the same village, and the reason they bought it tells us quite a lot about the life they are trying to create. They want more land, more room for animals, more room to grow, more room to build their future. And while this house itself needs plenty of work, that isn't what Veba sees when she looks at this property. She sees possibility.
That's all. We are already in a new house. Today it's the next day from yesterday when we bought this house. They already moved all their things. They ordered 2 cars. So now let's start to talk about the story of this house. As you remember, we wanted to have a bigger land. We wanted to build chicken coops, place for cow, place for goats, like all separately, each animal, because they are not supposed to live together. And we went to administration to ask about an abandoned house near our house, to if we can use this land or not, and they said that we cannot. Because, by the way, we bought house in the same village, just in other street. By the way, this is our land. I will show you everything in the next video to show you better, but you can already see how big land is here. Oh, it's crazy. Like this, we like this house, we like this land. Land is the most important for me, honestly. I love my other house. I don't know, maybe there is something wrong with me. Maybe for you it looks poor, because this house, when you see it, you will understand that it's much bigger, it's better, it's built with normal walls, like apartment.
Veba shows us more of the house in another video, and I really encourage you to go and watch it, because this is where our idea about value becomes interesting. What matters more, a beautiful finished house on a tiny block, or an imperfect house surrounded by land on which you can create the life you actually want? I'm starting off this next video with some truly idyllic scenes from the village surrounding Veba's home. No traffic, no high-rise buildings, no perfectly landscaped public parks, just space, forest, animals, and an enormous amount of nature.
I brought them water, and look how they're enjoying grass. So what I will say about having a goats from experience of probably 1 week, it's they need time to adapt to you. And for example, Moti, it's male goat, he adapted already. Like, I love him so much, I swear, like he's perfect goat. But Gotya, she's still not. But probably it's because she was running from us 10 kilometers and she's still small, she was scared.
Something really funny happens when you change your life. Your definition of success can change with it. In the city, perhaps it's a renovated house and the newest car. Move to a village and suddenly you're looking at land, sheds and chicken coops. And your dream vehicle looks a little different too. Veba House found hers.
We saw some small boys inside of this house, and this is our house. And they were screaming us some bad words. Now anyway, we are going to administration, because this is not first time these small children, they are there. And who knows what they are doing inside. We will go to administration and say about this also, and about our land. And also I would like to ask them about this, I don't know how they call this car, I will put picture here, small tractor, if we can drive it without driver lessons in this village or not, because I want to buy it so much and drive it like this cool country girl driving tractor. This is exactly this car what I want. Look how it's cool. Здрасте. Oh my god, this is my dream car.
Now, this is the part of this lifestyle that beautiful photographs sometimes leave out. It requires work, and Veba works. She digs, she plants, she builds, she repairs, she looks after animals, and when something doesn't work, she learns and tries again. She knows what she wants to create on this land, and she seems remarkably unafraid of the physical work required to get there. Watching young people like Veba and Mouad makes me wonder again why we don't do more to encourage this lifestyle. We have villages and small towns that need people. We have young people struggling with the cost of city living. We have families wanting more space and perhaps a different pace of life to be able to spend more time with their families. Surely there is an opportunity somewhere in bringing these things together. Governments, I'm talking to you. Subsidies, grants, infrastructure improvements. Anyway, first here's Weber getting on with the job.
Time to work. Let's go. A lot of worms for our chickens. I found out that the more worms we give to our chickens, then more eggs they bring. Interesting. Petrushka, Petrushka. Kuta, 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 kuta. Kuta, 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 kuta. Petrushka, Petrushka. Only him he eats from my hands. No. This corner, it was just super hard. And this part also. That's all for today because I feel so tired. And look how it's beautiful. This is my favorite place. It looks like some fairy tale. Let's see if our goats there, what are they doing? Looking at us, obviously.
And this next little scene is perhaps one of my favorites. There's nothing dramatic about it. It's simply Veba watering her garden at the end of a long day. But I think there is an important reminder. You don't have to have everything before you begin changing your life. The perfect property, the perfect equipment, the perfect amount of money, the perfect plan. Sometimes you start where you are with what you have and improve things slowly. Veba and Mouad have had limited resources, transport problems, bureaucracy, weather issues, and all sorts of other challenges. Yet somehow their focus remains much more on what they can do than what they can't.
Watermelon chicks. What is wrong with this one? Tomato we will not do water today, cucumbers, cabbage also not. But cucumbers, they are not so dry. Are you sure? Are you sure? Let's see. Yeah. Little bit water.
Now we're going to use a little YouTube magic and jump forward. We've passed through winter, visa issues, and a trip to Morocco, which had its own drama. And we're coming back to the garden. And I don't want to spoil Weber's reaction because one of the most delightful things about her is that she is genuinely amazed and thrilled with the blooming world she and her husband have created and rewarded with. So let's go and see what happened.
And just a few days ago, we came back with my husband from Morocco, from his country, to our home, to a Siberian village. And today, finally, I want to show you updates of our garden. This is just amazing, and you will be shocked from things what's growing in our garden. So let's go and see what we got this year. And first thing, look at this. What is this? It's 3 meters high. Look at this. How could they grow like this high? When we were letting them 3 weeks ago, they were like this. How it can be in 3 weeks? You believe it?
By now, their collection of animals has grown. There are chickens, goats, and rabbits, and plenty of lessons being learnt along the way. The garden has grown with them. What I particularly like is that this isn't presented as somebody who is arriving knowing everything. Veba is learning. She learns from her grandmother, her mother, her neighbours, and I'm sure from plenty of mistakes. This isn't expertise, it's participation. You learn by doing, and these brand new farmers are doing remarkably well.
Finally, let's go to the veggies. First thing where we are arriving, it's to our pumpkin. Look at this. Look at this. I don't know if this year it will grow already some big pumpkin. How many? There's some 2 weeks left until September. But this is what we have. There is also one more pumpkin like this, cute and small, and new ones they're also growing. I think we put them too late. Next thing we are arriving is to our zucchinis. Look at this. Look at this, they're growing. There is many zucchinis. In this place that's not only zucchinis we have, but we have some few. The most interesting part is our eggplant. Look at this. Look at him. Look at him. How cute he is. It's crazy. It's crazy. They are growing. Me, I thought they will not grow. Look at this one. Look at this one. I was shocked when I saw them. They were so small, if you remember. Okay, now let's go to the next.
We've wandered past potatoes and peppers and flowers planted amongst the vegetables, but there is one little part of the garden that has made Veba particularly happy. There was something she really wanted to grow and she wasn't convinced she could. I think her reaction tells you everything.
Also here, as you can see, it's empty because we had here onion. My grandmother already took this onion because it was time, and after I will show you how much onion we have. Now, please don't be shocked. Sit. If you are staying, sit on the chair. You remember my dream and my goal is to grow watermelons. You remember it? And I didn't believe that I will have it. We let our watermelons 3 weeks ago like this. I thought maximum they will grow, it's like this. Let's go, I will show you something. Look at this! Look at this! It's crazy! It's crazy, I'm so happy. I was taking care of them so much and I was waiting. And I didn't expect, I couldn't believe when I saw it. I said, how it can be in 3 weeks from this small watermelon. It's not even like this, they were like this. Like this they were, yes. How it can grow like this one? It's crazy. It's my grandmother, she took care of this and she did some magic, or it's us because we put it. I don't know. Look at this. Look at this. Look how many we have. Watermelon chick. Look.
There is actually far too much growing here for me to show you all of it. Melons, beetroots, radishes, carrots, garlic, zucchini, corn, cabbage, and several things Veba herself struggles to translate into English. And that's before we get into the greenhouse. What I love is a sense of abundance. Not abundance measured by how much you've bought, abundance measured by what you've grown. There is something incredibly satisfying about walking outside and finding dinner growing in the ground. And of course, we are reminded again that food simply tastes better when you grow it yourself.
I think we are arriving at our greenhouse. Look at our peppers. There is some bumblebee. Also here is one cucumber. This is all, by the way, all this. It's just one cucumber. It's just one. Look how he grown. Look how he grown. It's crazy. And there are millions of cucumbers also. Here is our peppers. Look how they look. Don't tell me to be spicy one. Wow, he's red. Look at this one. I think it will be spicy one. Though it's green. Said it will be red. Yes, it's so cool and beautiful. Look at all these peppers, what they grow. Look, there is orange ones. And by the way, we are arriving to our onion. Look at this. We should take it to sun from here. It's hot. Like this, one bucket, other one, and the other one. Like this our onion looks like. Not big, but I think this is how home onion looks like. I don't know. Last year too we didn't have big ones. And our tomato. It's so cool and cute. Let's try it. There is nothing better on this planet than your home tomatoes. It's just taste from some other dimension. So delicious. I will eat it every day, non-stop.
And we're still not finished. From vegetables, we move on to fruit trees and then back to their original property, where there's another garden and more vegetables and berry bushes. What began as two beginners trying to work out how to grow food is becoming something quite extraordinary. They have put in the work, and now the land is giving so much back.
Garden and see what's there. There are not many things, but there are some. Let's go. This is our tractor, by the way. Also, we have one car Zhiguli. You can see it on some other videos. And here you can see our other flowers. Like this they look so beautiful. I will cut some for our bedroom. Let's go to our first thing. It's this apples. Yeah, it's crazy. I thought it's not growing in this village, but it is growing. And my grandmother said the best thing to take them in the end of September. Then they will be so sweet. But I want to try now. It's so delicious. It's so delicious. First, our berries. Come here. This is called kryzhownik. My grandmother already took them because it was time, and she freezed them for us. Look here, there are still some of them. I'm coming here every day, and I'm eating them. Like this they look. Our cherry, as you can see, there is nothing. Or my grandmother, maybe she took already. There was some few, or they're dried. Look, I think something happened to them, but that's all right. It means next year we will have to sell it. Here is one. Also, you can come here and see our other berries. It was black smarodina. I don't remember name. Like this it looked. And you can also eat it.
And I think Veba herself gives us a perfect reminder here. They're beginners. They don't know everything. They've made mistakes. Some things grow, some things don't. But look at what they've achieved anyway.
Here is our carrot. Like this it looks, and it's big. Look there. Look, it's growing there. Come on, we will have a lot of carrots. Last year we had zero. We had like these ones. Because we are beginners, by the way, if you never saw our videos, And that's it for this video. Updates in our garden. Write in comments if you are shocked. I'm shocked about watermelons the most, because I really thought that I don't know how to do this and I will do some mistakes and it will not grow, but it's grown. And now we are just waiting for time when we can eat it already finally. So write in comments what do you think about our gardens, and thank you for watching. See you next video. Bye.
Maybe we place too much importance on knowing exactly what we're doing before we're willing to start. Sometimes the knowledge comes because we started. Now we've seen summer, we've seen gardens overflowing with food, we've seen green forests and long days outside. So now we're going backwards in time, because surely I can't show you life in Siberia without showing you winter. And this is much closer to the Siberia I imagined.
Hello, it's Veba, and today I will show you Siberian village tour. Village where I live. And this is our house. And we just moved here about 1 month ago. So now let's go. I will show you how we live, how this village lives. And you can come here and live with us.
It's amazing that the garden itself isn't the only source of abundance. Beyond the village is a forest. In warmer months, there are berries and mushrooms and other things that people have gathered there for generations. The supermarket isn't the only pantry. And when you look at the amount of food they are learning to grow, combined with what nature provides around them, it's difficult not to reconsider our definition of wealth. Because yes, this life is different, but for Veba, and certainly for me watching her, there is something incredibly rich about.
So this is our street, and here it's finished, and there is forest where you can go and take mushrooms, take berries, see bears, wolves, rabbits, all kinds of animals. This forest we were there, it's big and it's so deep. That's all. So now I think we will turn and go to other street. Let's go.
I've talked about this before in my reflection videos. Leaving a city doesn't mean disappearing from civilization. You may not have everything at your doorstep, but perhaps everything doesn't need to be at your doorstep. Veba and Mouad can travel into the nearby town when they need something and make a longer trip when necessary to a major town. But when you look at their everyday life, they have so much already. They walk, they work physically, they spend time outdoors, they grow food, they breathe fresh air. Exercise isn't necessarily something you have to schedule into an hour at the gym. It's simply part of living.
And now we arrived to one more street like ours. It is just a small street, so we will not go there. You can see it from here because it's cold. We arrived to central street of this countryside. Look at this. Let's go to see what there is. And there is different houses from different material. What? These rocks. Look, red rocks. And I think from cement. This. In our village we have 2 buses per day every day. They are going to one small city. It's called Yashkina. You can buy there cheaper food because here it's very expensive. What else? There is other city Yurga, but there you can go only in electric train. But we don't know how to go, or on taxi. And to go to Yashkina you need to spend like some 45 minutes from here. But it's very, very small city. And also if you want to go to big city like Kemerovo, where I was born, or you want to go to Novosibirsk, you need to spend like 3-4 hours in the way. At least we have 2 buses a day. This is very nice. And if you want to come to live there, you are welcome. In Siberia, it's a little bit cold, but it's interesting. Very, very interesting.
And this next clip surprised me, because once again, my assumptions about what a remote village would have weren't entirely accurate. Veba is about to tell us what actually is available here.
So in our village, there is police, there is administration, there is doctor, there is school. Like there is everything if you are afraid that you will die here. So there is shops. We have 3 shops. One will be over there.
Not quite the middle of nowhere after all. Of course, winter changes everything. The garden sleeps, the landscape disappears under snow, and the temperature can become something those of us living in a moderate climate can barely imagine. So what do? Well, you put on some very serious clothing and go for a walk, because nature hasn't disappeared, it's simply changed.
Oh, it's very beautiful. And now we are already near to the end of this central street. Just forest around and emptiness. And I think there is somewhere near should go train, but I don't know where. We already arrived to the next street, but there, behind this, I think there's again just forest. And plus of living in Siberia, that in the winter you can see this beauty, you can see snow, you can see snow, just snow. But in summer, there is, imagine how many greens we have, how many forests. I think it will be so beautiful.
What makes this next clip rather lovely is that even Veba seems surprised by how much there is to see. They're wandering through streets they haven't really explored before, discovering houses and little corners of their own village. And places they know well in summer look completely different now in the snow. Sometimes adventure doesn't require going very far at all.
And this is the end of our village. From this side, you see there is some road somewhere, and forest. This is the next street. Whoa, look how many houses. We never even saw them. What? It's so big a village. This is some place for nothing. This is very beautiful place with Christmas trees. But after we read somewhere that this is the place, like in memories of soldiers who was in war. You see, they wrote it's a square of winning. Yes. This is the lake. You can't see it because it's all in snow. Very sad.
And I'm going to let Veba finish this section herself. Remember, this is an earlier video. She's still building her channel. She's still building her audience. She's asking people to give this little Siberian channel a chance. Please go and support her.
That's all. Now we are coming back home, and I hope that I showed you a lot of things in our village. Of course, I can't show you all of it because it's so long and so big. A lot of houses we didn't even arrive to. And I hope it was interesting enough information.
And her channel did grow. Veba started this channel at the end of 2022. Today, hundreds of videos later, and hundreds of thousands of people have chosen to follow her life in that Siberian village. And I think that's rather wonderful. Because Veba and Mouad didn't begin with enormous resources. They didn't even begin in their native language. They simply had a life they were building and a story they were willing to share. And then they kept showing up. That perhaps is the part of this story that inspires me most. We spend so much time convincing ourselves that we can't do something because we don't have enough money, enough knowledge, enough equipment, enough opportunity, enough confidence. And then you'll watch someone like Veba. She'll dig the garden herself. She'll learn how to care for animals. She'll renovate the house. She'll catch a bus into town. She'll battle through paperwork. She'll speak to an international audience in a language that isn't her own. And she'll laugh through it and show genuine enjoyment. There is a humility to the way Veba and Mouad live, and that I find incredibly refreshing. They seem grateful for what they have while still working towards what they want. And perhaps that's the balance many of us have lost. Wanting more doesn't have to mean being dissatisfied with now. You can appreciate the little house while dreaming about the bigger farm. You can be proud of that small first carrot while learning how to grow a better one next year. You can be a beginner and still begin. And maybe that's the thought I want to leave you with from Veba. You don't have to wait until you have everything you need to build a different life. Start with what you have, learn what you don't know, be grateful for what works, fix what doesn't, and keep going. Because sometimes a very big life can grow from a very humble beginning. If Veba and Mouad's story has made you curious, please go over to Veba and Siberian Village Life and spend some time with them. If Veba's story resonates with you, I've linked her channel and the videos featured here in the description box. This isn't my story to tell, only one to reflect on. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What have you been quietly reconsidering? Because maybe this isn't about finding out answers straight away. Maybe it's simply about beginning. Until next time, this has been A Life Reconsidered.